What's up guys, TC here and welcome back to Starbound Tips, and today I've got the top 5 weapons to upgrade in Starbound 1.2. So if you don't know already, in Starbound 1.2 you can actually upgrade any early game weapons you find to tier 6. So now we have a whole lot more viable end game weapons. So in my old video series we were kind of comparing what the best weapons were, but we were pretty limited on what we could pick from because there weren't a whole lot of tier 6 weapons. And now that every legendary weapon can be upgraded to tier 6, now we've got a whole lot more options. So with that being said, let's jump right in. Coming in at number 5, we have the Firestorm Fury. And this is a weapon you can get from one of the arena challenges. It is actually a really unique weapon because it's a sword, but it's got a built-in flamethrower, which is very unique. No other sword or weapon in the game is really like that. It's a melee weapon and a gun kind of combined, and this one's really strong. Even before you upgrade it, as you can see here, in just one hit, it does 138 damage, and its initial hit also sets you on fire. Now, when you upgrade it, it turns this really cool gold color, and it goes from 138 to 161, which is a huge damage jump. Now, obviously, all of these are going to be, I'm using the end-game armor, the perfect set, so as you can see, that's going to be the best armor you're going to be able to wear, so definitely use that. But yeah, this is definitely one of the coolest ones. The old one, Flamethrower, does 25, and the new one does 29. So yeah, there's actually an upgrade to both the melee attack and the ranged attack. Definitely a great weapon to spin it on, and something that everyone can get. It doesn't really require any luck. And coming in at number 4, we have the electric railgun. This is a gun that was, I kind of passed over it. It's kind of mediocre. It looks a little bit strange. Before the upgrade, it really doesn't do a whole lot of damage, just 30 damage per shot. It's kind of like a sniper rifle cannon type thing, so you can see it does 138. Now that's strong for any kind of ranged weapon. Its secondary ability is a target, which is kind of cool because you can actually, if you target them, let go, and then right click, you can actually do 2 shots back to back. So you'll see if you add these 2 numbers together, you get 92 and 138. That's pretty good. That's 200 plus damage. But when you upgrade it, it jumps up from 30 damage per shot to 42. And actually, I think it looks a lot better with the upgrade, the upgraded sprite. So as you can see here, we shoot it. Now it does 194 damage. And if you target it, let off right click and shoot again, it does 129 and 194. That is a ton of damage for any kind of gun, and you can do this 2 shots back to back like that. An extremely powerful ranged weapon, quite frankly probably the strongest ranged weapon in the game. And it acts a lot like a sniper rifle. It doesn't have any dip or arc. It can aim all the way across the screen. Fantastic weapon, although it could be kind of hard to get your hands on because there's no guaranteed way to get it other than RNG. And coming in at number 3, we have the Adaptable Crossbow. Now this was the weapon that I did not think was actually going to be able to be upgraded, but it is. And while it doesn't have a crazy amount of damage output, the sheer usability of it, it's just so viable, especially for the vaults, because now that we have elemental damage in the game, the crossbow being able to change elements is more important than ever. So now we can upgrade it. As you can see here, this is just the base default bolt. It does 92 damage, and when you upgrade it, it gets kind of bulkier. And now when we shoot it, it does 129. Now that's not a boatload of damage, but being able to carry it on you at all times and know without a shadow of a doubt that you're going to have a weapon on you that can handle whatever vault you're in or whatever planet you're on, that you have a weapon that can handle any enemy. It's a great weapon to have. It's not particularly super powerful, but it's viable everywhere you go. So I definitely wanted to include it on the list. Coming in at number 2 on the list, we have the Chakrams. Now these are really cool weapons. I've always loved the throwing weapons in the game because they add a bit of like ranged play to melee, and they don't use any energy, which gives them a huge advantage. And these Chakrams got a huge damage, like a huge boost in damage. So as you can see here, just one Chakram does 28. Throw them both at the same time, you can do 56. And what I like is you can actually kind of bounce them off and do a ton of damage like that. And none of that uses any energy, and you can do it from range, right? Now when you upgrade them, they turn this really cool gold color, and now they go from a 28 damage all the way up to freaking 65 damage. And so now when you do this bouncing back and forth, you do a whole lot more damage like that, 65 like that, and just continue to repel the enemy. It's extremely powerful and definitely worth the upgrade. Alright, and coming in at number 1, we have the Hoku Side. Now this was not one I expected to become very good, but this weapon has received a big damage buff, and it has actually turned out to be the strongest sword in the game now that we can upgrade it. So as you can see here, we have the regular Hoku Side. It's got a secondary, it's got this wave ability, which it doesn't really damage opponents. You'll see here, it doesn't damage them, but it does cause them to become wet, so they have that mobility limitation on them. And its damage output is only 127 before you upgrade it. However, when you upgrade it, it gains a ton of power. Now it jumps up to 177 in a single hit. And I know it doesn't seem that crazy, but this is the weapon you can actually combo attacks together. So as you see, we did 177 89, and 177. That's 400 plus damage in one little combo, which makes it the new strongest melee weapon in the game, period. So this is definitely, if you're looking for just for pure damage output, this is definitely the way to go. This thing can do so much damage, stronger than the Bioleum Broadsword, stronger than the Protectorate Sword, stronger than the Astro Saber Deluxe. Definitely the new strongest and probably the best melee weapon in the game. So that's going to wrap up today's episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please rate, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll talk to y'all later.